Welcome back. As you know, I'm Eli the Computer Guy here for the Daily Blob, where I say, hey, it's something. I mean, it kind of, sort of sounds good if you don't think about it a lot. So, Apple chips, Apple CPUs are going to be made in the United States by TSMC in Arizona. Biden's a winner. Trump's a winner. The American citizens are footing the bill. Footing the bill. This is curious. I was excited to see this until I started reading about it. And that's what you got to think about in 2025 is, like, don't get excited about something until you read more about it. Because once you read more about it, you're going to be like, oh, that's kind of crappy. Anyways, coming from Mac Rumors, other places too, more Apple chips to be made in the United States as TSMC accelerates Arizona plants, right? So under the CHIPS Act, under the Biden administration, they were throwing out the money so that more silicon would be manufactured here in the United States. Under the Trump administration, he's just tariffing the ever-loving fuck out of everybody trying to get more silicon made in the United States. And so TSMC is here to the rescue to give good optics to our government. Our presidents demanded something, and TSMC is here to provide optics. More Apple chips are set to be made in the U.S. as TSMC said it is busy accelerating the construction of its second and third Arizona plants, fulfilling a promise made back in March. The chip maker is bringing more advanced processes to the U.S. earlier than initially expected, allowing it to make chips for more recent Apple products. So that sounds pretty good. Apple first announced its plan for, quote, Made in America chips back in 2022, with the news hailed as one of the success stories of the U.S. CHIPS Act. The initiative will see a series of TSMC chip-making plants built in Arizona, with some of the production reserved for Apple chips. TSMC deliberately limits its most advanced chip-making capabilities to its home territory of Taiwan, meaning its U.S. plants can only make chips for older Apple devices. Yeah, Ludwig was really proud because basically he was saying that China would only get our fourth best AI hardware. Yeah, apparently that's basically what TSMC is doing to us. They'll only manufacture their fourth best hardware for us. However, the company recently promised to accelerate the pace of development, meaning it will eventually be making chips for products around 3 generations old rather than the previous 4 to 5 years. So just think about this under our dead president. Under our first dead president, CHIPS Act, tens of billions of dollars, there's actually hundreds of billions of dollars in total, thrown around so that we could be a leader in producing silicon on the world stage again. TSMC is building these fabs in the United States, and now those fabs will be able to produce chips that are only 3 generations old. Instead of the previous 4 to 5 years old as they were. My question with all of this is this what winning looks like? Is this what winning looks like? Wow, we can produce old crap in the United States too. The chip maker broke ground on its third U.S. plant back in April, with Apple CEO Tim Cook expressing his pride at being the first customer of the facility. There had initially been some skepticism about how meaningful U.S. chip production really was, as the raw chips are only one step in the process. Apple's chips are really clusters of several different chips brought together in a process known as packaging, and the original plan was for U.S.-made chips to be shipped back to Taiwan for this. So under the CHIPS Act, under Biden, basically they would produce the chips here, ship them all back to Taiwan to actually turn it into a product, package it into a product, and then ship it back to the United States. There was brief talk about using a third-party U.S. company to do the packaging before TSMC said it would create its own chip packaging facilities in the U.S. 2 such facilities are now in the works. So there we go. So TSMC is opening up their fabs here in Arizona, here in the United States. They are going to be producing chips, and apparently they are creating 2 packaging facilities so they can package those chips into an actual usable product. This is a big thing to be thinking about in the technology world, right? There's all the different components. You can have all the components in the world, but if you can't tie them into a product, who the hell cares? So they can create the components here, they can package those components into a usable product, and the good thing is they'll only be 3 generations old. They'll only be 3 We will have the most cutting edge 3-generation old technology in the world. And yeah, I don't know. If this is not a complete and utter metaphor for the current state of the United States, I don't know what is. So we're going to prevent China from getting the latest AI chips at the exact same time we do not produce the latest AI chips. Fair enough. Fair enough. So what do you think about this? What do you think about Apple buying these TSMC chips out of the Arizona plant? What do you think about the fact that they are now going to be producing the chips and packaging in the United States within some amount of time? What do you think about they have now accelerated, so we're not going to get 4 to 5-year-old technology out of these factories. We're only going to get 3-generation old technology out of these factories. Whatever the hell that actually means, like what is a generation in 2025? I actually don't know at this point in time. What do you think? Are you tired of winning? Are you tired of looking at the news every day and being like, wow, we're such winners? I don't know. Put your thoughts down below. Whether you give us a thumbs up, a thumbs down, an awesome comment, or a horrible comment, do remember, it is the modern world of social media. All that matters is that interaction. And with that, see y'all later.